Okay, right. So a very good evening, guys. Can you all let me know if you all can hear me and also see a screen before we get started? Yes. All good? Yeah. Right. Nice. So I think we have a full meeting today. Happy that you all were able to make it on time. So that's why I usually send a message also on the group saying join by 7:25. There is a reason behind all of that. So happy that you all were able to make it. I'm guessing some of the people might not be able to make it because my Zoom capacity is at 300. Okay, so before we get started, I will spend Lamai the first half an hour to give you a bit of a, let's say like a plan, right, as to what we are doing here in this past paper class, because I don't want you all to be lost. It should not be just a normal class that you come every Friday. So I'll give you a small intro as to why we are doing this and right how you can make the best use of it. I'll give you a bit of a plan also on how you can plan out your next 5 months, if I'm not mistaken, starting from March. You have around 5 months and a few days to go, right? So how do you make the best use of these 5 months, and how do you get that A or even target for something much more than just a A? Right. So let me share my screen. We'll get started. Any of y'all who was able to, just before we start, try out a few past paper questions and come? I told you all if you all can find some time to do the questions from 2016 and come. Yes, no, did. Good. Right. Some of you all have, some of you all haven't. That is all right. Since this is the first class, we can manage. Right. So let me start off, Lamai. Like I told you, I'll take the first half an hour to give you all a small intro. I think that is very important so that you and me know what exactly we are doing here and what exactly can you expect from this past paper class. I don't want you to have different expectations and I deliver something else. So we'll make that very clear and we'll get started with that. Right. So starting off with this whole past paper class thing, Lamai, one thing you all would have realized, I do this completely for free to all the students, regardless of whether you come to my theory classes or not, no matter who you are, as long as you're doing English medium A-levels in 2026, this class will be completely free for you. Now, the reason behind why I do this, now this class, Lamai, started somewhere around this free past paper class that I did. I started it somewhere around in 2021. Right? So that is the year right after COVID. I started this past paper class as at that point, I actually started it off because I had a lot of extra time. Right? Because at that point, I was at university, I was at Colombo Uni, and even with COVID and all, even 2021 was COVID. So lectures were online. So we had a lot of free time. I also can't just wait with my free time. So I thought, let's do a past paper class. One, because I had free time, I started, and also as a measure of giving back something to the society out there, right? You all would have studied in business studies, you all study corporate social responsibility and business social responsibility. Think of it as a form of that I will be doing. So one reason that I decided to do a free past paper class instead of everything else is because I understand that there are some students out here, they might not be able to afford, let's say, a normal theory or a revision class, because I know people come with very difficult financial backgrounds. And for me personally, past papers is one very important thing. And if you can get your past papers done properly, even if you can't afford to go to a theory class or a paid class, even if you focus properly on a past paper class, and if you can get the past papers done, you can easily pass the exam, not just even pass the exam, you can even get close to that A. That is how important past papers actually are. So that is why I am doing this past paper class separately, even though I started it back in 21 when I had so much of free time. Right now, my schedule is not the same, but still I continue it despite all of that. I still try to make some time to do this past paper class because it is very, 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 very important on your end. Then a little bit about me for those who don't know. I am Arshad. Sorry if I didn't introduce myself before. So I teach advanced level econ. I only do an online class. I don't have a physical class. On and off, I have done a few physical seminars and all of it. But apart from that, I only teach online. The reason as to why I only teach online, I also work as an economist at a macroeconomic advisory firm in Sri Lanka. So my full-time job also is not just teaching. My full-time job is macroeconomic advisory. So I do whatever that I teach you, that I also apply that in the real world for my job. So I'm able to bring in a lot of real world context to this. You all will see that once we learn the units along the way. There is a small segment also in this class where every day I will teach you all some bit of current context, which I think is very important. So that's a little bit about me. I graduated from the University of Colombo, Faculty of Management and Finance, specialized in business economics, completed CIMA as well. During uni, I was a part of different clubs and societies. I was the president at the Rotary Club at university, right? A club that had around close to around 400 members at that point. So it was a nice experience. Uni was a nice experience. Teaching was a nice experience. But for me personally, I didn't want to only teach, right? As a policy that I have in terms of my life is whatever that I do has to be interesting, has to be challenging. Because if the only thing that I do is teach, you all might, one thing that I do is I don't repeat the same class twice. So you all would have realized, even if I have a 2026 theory batch, 27 theory batch, I only do one class. I don't teach at multiple different institutes, because personally for me, doing the same thing twice makes it very boring. And I think for that same reason, that is why I'm still sticking to my full-time job. It complements nicely with the fact that I am teaching. So because of that, I don't really have the time to do a physical class, despite multiple institutes, multiple students requesting. I have not really gone into that. And for me, I also believe that online classes perfectly work, right? The convenience, the advantages you have, for me, is much more than the advantages you might have at a physical class. Yes, physical classes are more happening, more fun. You see the teacher, right? You will have your friends next to you, but that is all right. You might not have all of that in the online class, but online also has its own advantages. So we will stick to an online format. Now, again, to start off with, I think I've shown you all this slide multiple times, even before, if you all have seen me. I think all of you all, one thing to do is to have a target in life, or at least if you're doing this A levels out here, to have a small target. Whether you get there or not, that is all right, because all of you all can't get there, right? Because right now this class has 300 people, and I'm telling you to have a target to get at least into the top 100 in the island. So if you can get among the top 100 in the island, that itself is a brilliant achievement. And forget about top 100, Lamai. I personally think even if you can get among the top 300 in the island, you're equally as good as the first in the island. Right? So your island ranks and all of it, yes, it's nice to have, but remember, it's not the end of the world. And even what I personally believe is even the 300th in the island is equally as good as, let's say, the first in the island. It's on that day of the exam, you might make a small kana shot which goes wrong, maybe a small careless mistake that messes things up, maybe a small addition error somewhere. Right? That is what might differentiate the first in the island and, let's say, the 300th in the island. So personally for me, if you can come among the top 200, top 300 in the island, I think y'all are equally good. You can get into any local university that you want to ideally apply to. So we'll have that target in mind. With that in mind is where we are going into this past paper class. Now, this target might seem very unrealistic, right? You must be wondering, sir, how do I come among the top 300 in the island? So there are around 100,000 students doing commerce. Arts people, sorry, commerce, I think, yeah, is 100,000. Arts around 80,000. Right? So even if you're from the art stream, you'll understand there's so many people. How do I get there? Right? Has people done it before? They have. So this is just a glimpse of my last year's results. You all would have seen this. Right? So last year, there were 3 students among the top 10 in the island. So if you look at top 300 in the island, there was at least around 10 to 15 students. I have not put all of them into a flyer. Top 10 in the island. There was the island's 2nd, 5th, and 9th. There were students who did learn from me for at least around 2 years with theory and all of that. So if they can, the question is, why can't you? And even for me, sorry, I forgot to tell this, I did A-levels in 2017, and I was among the top 50 in the island in 2017 when I did A-levels. And I also did the normal 3 subjects, no fancy subjects: accounting, business studies, economics. Even with that, if I can come among the top 15 in the island, I know personally the effort that I would have put in. It's not something that is completely magical, something that is completely out of the box, Nebe, because I know how much of time I spent. I know that I also did so much of other things during school. If I can get there, if these students can get there, the question is, why can't you? So you need to start believing in yourself. Right now, you might wonder, this fellow is just jabbering, I don't think I can get there. I know he is just saying different things. But the moment you start believing in yourself, the moment you start giving everything, you can get there. And even if you don't get there, Lamai, you will at least get close to it. And trust me, at the end of the day, afterwards, your island rank doesn't really make a big difference. Yes, initially getting a good island rank matters a lot. That can help you with getting into a good university, maybe applying for foreign scholarships. All of that can be there. But later on, let's say 10 years down the line in your life, it doesn't really matter. Right now, at my point, let's say right now, if I'm applying for a job, no one really cares whether I was top 50 in the island or anything. No one gives a shit about that. So right now, yes, I would keep that as a target, but don't get too caught up with it also, because in the big picture, it will not matter too much, right? So with that, I'll get into, Lamai, what we will be doing in this past paper class, right? Now, this past paper class, again, to make it very, very clear, this is not, Lamai, a theory class. It is not a revision class. I have a separate theory class. I have a separate revision class. Those are different. So this past paper class, Lamai, is where we only work on past papers. In this past paper class, I am not going to teach you. So we'll make it very clear. I'm not going to teach you all the units from the basics. That is not going to happen. That is what you will learn, Lamai, in a theory class. So if any of you all are here, right, you have not learned, let's say now we are starting with unit 1 today. If you have not learned unit 1 at all, right, you have no idea what on earth is unit number 1. You don't know what is a PPC. You don't know what is market economy. No, don't know what is command economy. And if you're here with the impression that this fellow will teach me the basics, you're at the wrong place. So if that is your case, I would even request you can even leave the class now, give the opportunity to someone else who might be waiting to join. If you're completely blank, this is not the place. So this is again a past paper class. What I expect from you now with my regular paid class students, by now I have finished theory, right? By the end of Feb, I will be finishing the theory syllabus. I'm also finishing the revision class syllabus. So I am ideally doing this past paper class to a student who has learned the syllabus at least around twice. Forget about the entire syllabus, but at least let's say unit number 1, you have learned it at least twice, maybe at a class, maybe at school, maybe at a revision program. You have learned it twice. With that is where I'm starting off this past paper class. So in this past paper class, one thing that I will expect all of you all to do, you all are expected to do the questions and come. Now, since today is the first day, that's okay. But beforehand, I will send you all the tute. I will tell you all next week, these are the questions that we are going to do. You're expected to do that and come before the class, because during the class, I am not going to sit with you and hold your hand and write answers. That's not going to happen. You're going to write answers and come. We are going to discuss that in class. So in class, I'll tell you where you can improve, what are the points that you should write when it comes to essay questions, how you can structure this answer, how are you going to break it down, how much should you write for, let's say, a 4-mark question, how much do you write for a question that says describe. Those are the things that we will be discussing, not a word by word spoon feeding of an answer. That will not happen in the past paper class. Now, you don't have to submit the answers. You need to do it on your own and get that Done. So how we will be doing the past papers is, Lamai, we will not be doing the past papers year by year, right? Because I know all of you all haven't finished the entire syllabus. We will do the past papers, Lamai, unit by unit. So we will start with the unit 1 past papers. We'll do the MCQs. Then we will do the unit 1 essay questions. Put it aside. Then we will go to unit number 2. Finish that, unit 3. Finish that, unit 4. So it's unit by unit that we will be doing. We will be doing the class every Friday from 7 to 10. Now, since these days are fasting, that is why I'm starting at 7:30, right? But otherwise, normally it will be from 7 to 10. From around mid of next month, we will go from 7 to 10. For now, it will be 7:30 to 10. We will go that way. Okay, right. So then what I want you all to do is, Lamai, one thing. Now, when you write answers, your answers can't be all over the place. What I will in general recommend is for you all to, Lamai, start filing your answers. And give me a second. I feel my data, Wi-Fi is a bit slow. Hold on. Let me connect into a hotspot. And give me 2 seconds. Okay, I'm not sure. I connected the Wi-Fi hotspot on one of my devices. Right. Can you just confirm again, Nama? Can you all hear me? Yes, fine, clear, all good. Yeah, right. In case it gets stuck, just let me know. It's raining outside, so sometimes the connection might be a little wobbly here and there, but let me know. Okay, right. So now how we will do this past paper classes, Lamai. Now at the start of each unit, I will send you all the past paper tute. Right now, the past paper tute is something that I have typed. I have seen a lot of other teachers also use my past paper tute. That is all right. You can take the past paper tute that I send you. My theory class students who were there in theory during unit number 1, and that is around 2 years ago now. If you were there, you should have that tute with you. The printed one, I give it to you all with the theory class file. Maybe it doesn't have the most recent questions. It might not have, because by the time I was sending that 2 years ago, the 2025 paper and all would have not been released. So there is no way that I could have typed it at that point. The tute PDF that I sent on the group, Lamai, has until the 2025 paper. So probably the tute that I would have given you all around 2 years ago might have had only until 2023. So maybe what you can do is you can, even for those who have that tute with you, at the printed one I have given you in the theory class, you can get the 2024 and 25 questions. Just get a printout of those pages and just attach it to that tute. For the others who don't have it, you can, Lamai, you can get a printout. I think of it as a investment that you're making for your studies. You waste enough and more money for so much of other things. Don't be stingy to get a printout. If you go out for dinner, if you go out with your friends, you end up spending much more than this. So spend some money, get a printout. By any chance, if you still can't afford that printout, you at least have your past paper book, I'm assuming. In that past paper book, those questions are there. You can still refer to it. There. So what I want you all to do is, Lamai, get a nice file, right? Maybe even if you can get like one of these clear bags, right? Get a nice file. And every time you do these past papers, I want you all, Lamai, to nicely file them and come. The reason behind this is I would recommend that even better than a CR book. Even if you have a CR book, that's okay if that is better for you. Otherwise, get full scaps, right? Get a set of full scaps. Every time you write answers, Lamai, nicely file that into your this one and come. So you can have the tut also inside the file. MCQs you can mark in the tut itself. Essay questions, you will have to get full caps and you have to mark it there. The reason that I'm telling you is one, so that you don't lose your answers. And number two is the reason I tell you this is now 5 months down the line. Now today is February. Today is the when? Today is the 20th of Feb. Let's say 5 months down the line, somewhere around the 20th of July. At that point, Lama, you're going to be very stressed. Like 5 months down the line, now you're going to, at that point, you will feel like you have forgotten everything you have studied. You have, everything. There is so much to study. What do I do now? A levels is in 10 days. That you're going to be very stressed. You'll start freaking out. But the moment you see that file of past papers, probably by that point in 5 months, we will finish off these past papers, all the units. By that point, when you look at this file and when you see, look here, I have done all of these questions. So we will do from 2016 to 25. The previous ones will be homework. I'll let you all know that how that works. So when you see that file, right, by that time, you will have a much big file. And you'll have a big file with all the past papers, everything done. That itself, Lamai, will give you a lot of confidence saying that, look here, I have done all of this. I am ready to get this A-level paper done as well. That's why I want you all to be organized and start filing your answers. You can't randomly write in different pieces of papers and different books here and there and then come. That can't happen. If you want to properly get this done, properly file it. And that. Now, why some people take this class for granted is now because I do this class for free. Like you all would have realized. Now, this same past paper class, Lamai, where I do past papers, certain teachers, they will call it a revision class and they will do past papers. My revision class is different than this. I don't have to do past papers in a revision class. Yes, there is a part of the past papers we do, but that's separate. I do the past papers completely for free, but please don't take that for granted. I know you all don't pay a single cent for this. Your data cost is not for me, no, that's for you. Take it seriously. Think of it as a class that you're paying and properly coming. If it's a class that you pay and properly come, you will take it seriously. You will get the work done. So that is one thing that I want you all to do. And one more thing is in terms of these past papers, Lamai, like I told you all before, every week at the start of the week, I'll tell you, this is what we are going to do this Friday. So you need to take some time to do those questions and come. Now, some of you all would have already done. That's your choice to make then, whether you want to do it again, whether you can just skim through. You be smart about your time because I don't know each and every one where you all are. Have you all done? Have you all not done? That I don't know, but you can plan it out. Then in terms of Lamai, I got a lot of messages. I didn't respond to it. In terms of the recording of this past paper class. Now, this past paper class recording, Lamai, unlike in my usual class, my usual paid classes, I have my own website within 24 hours of the class. I make the recording available. But for this past paper class, Lama, it will be a little different because it is done completely for free. I will upload this onto YouTube, and that is a guarantee. Before your A-level exam, I will upload the recordings on YouTube, but I won't guarantee when I will upload it. Now, maybe today's recording, I might upload it tomorrow itself onto YouTube. Sometimes today's recording might be uploaded 2 months from now. When I will upload, I won't guarantee. When I find some free time, if I think I'm in the mood of becoming a YouTuber and uploading on YouTube, if I feel that is the case, then I will add it onto YouTube. The reason I do that is not for anything else. The reason I do that is because I don't want this past paper class to be taken for granted. On my end, now you all might think you are doing a big sacrifice, but on my end also, I also think I'm also doing a considerable amount of a sacrifice here, right? To make the past paper to type it, to send it, to sit here every Friday night. I also have a social life. I also have friends. I also have a wife who will like me spending some time with them. But giving up all of that, I am here on a Friday night to do this class for you completely for free, where I don't get a single cent paid. So I don't have a financial benefit. I'm completely doing it for free. So the last thing I want is someone to take me for granted. So on your end, please tell your friends as well. Please don't send me messages asking, sir, send the recording, send the recording. When I find some time, when I feel like it, I will upload it on YouTube. Friday, you all are free to come to the class. You all are free to learn, no problem. Recording, I will upload when I feel like uploading. Because I'm telling this, Lamai, because otherwise you don't know what happens. There is around 900 on the past paper class group. After the class, what happens? I get around 100 messages from people saying, sir, can you upload recording? Can you upload recording? Can you upload recording? So when there are 100 messages, it's not easy to reply to all of that. That is why I'm telling it now itself, so that you don't text me after the class asking for the recording. Right? I don't want to live stream it on YouTube. I want to keep it this way. We'll see how it goes. Right? So eventually it will be there on YouTube. If I upload it on YouTube, I will send you all the link on the WhatsApp group. I will send you the link. That is that. Right. Then one more thing, again, to reduce the amount of messages that I get on my usual class, usual WhatsApp. What is happening in my paid classes right now? So I have, for the 2026 batch, I have a theory and a revision class. But the sad news is in February, I am finishing off the syllabus. That is unit number 1 all the way until unit number 12. For the theory class, syllabus will be done by the end of this month, or maybe first week of March. Same way, it will also be done for revision as well. So my revision class will also end by the end of February. So the syllabus in the theory and revision class will be over. For those who are coming to my theory and revision classes, you all will be the first people in Sri Lanka to finish off the syllabus twice with 5 months to go for the A-level exam. That's the sad news. So any one of you all can't join theory or revision now. But I hope you all are learning it somewhere. That is completely fine. You don't have to come to my class, just so that I don't get messages asking, sir, can we join your theory class? There is no theory class from March. The good news is that from March onwards, I will start a fast track program, but I'll be very clear as to what this is so that you all don't misunderstand. I don't want you all to pay and join for lies. The fast track program, Lamai, is an advanced revision program, because my revision class is over. My revision class, we would have done around 100 odd papers. Theory class is over. Fast track, unlike many other teachers, I started a fast track, Lamai, in 2020. In 2020, when I started this class called fast track, there was not a single other teacher who had something called a fast track. After that, now you have so many other teachers copying this. Them calling fast track. I am not sure what they call fast track. For them, for most other teachers, fast track is like something where you can get A-levels done in 1 year. It's a program like that. My fast track is different. My fast track class starts after I have finished the syllabus twice, after theory is done, after revision is done, then only I start this fast track program. So for me, the fast track is not like a 1 year A-level program. It's not like that. So for my fast track program is more like an advanced revision program. It will start in March. But for you to be a part of the fast track, Lamai, you need to know the basics. I'll make that very clear. So in the fast track program, I will again go unit by unit. There will be around 3 classes every week. In the first class, now, for example, let's say we start this in March. So in March, first week, there will be 3 classes. You will get a printed study plan as well. You will have a daily plan until A-levels, what and what you need to do. You have a big study plan also, all the things that you have to do in the next 5 months. You have to stick to that plan. There is a lot of work. That plan will require you to spend at least 2 hours a day to study for econ, not in total. To finish that plan, every day you have to allocate at least 2 hours. So unless you are really willing to put in that time, really willing to work hard for that, please don't join, because at the end, Lama, it's your parents' money. It's not, the fast track class is not a free class. I will charge a certain fee because I will be doing 12 classes. Every month, you will get a big book, right? A book of around 150 pages. So that book will have all the work that you need to do for that month. So in March, you all will get fast track book 1. all the things for month 1 will be there in that. And what will happen in this, Lamai, it's a more advanced revision in the sense, what I will be focusing is on each unit. I will be focusing on the most difficult areas of each unit and the most important parts. Now, I won't be going into, Lamai, the very basics. Now, for example, let's say unit number 1, I won't spend half an hour teaching you what is microeconomics, macroeconomics, what is positive statements, what are normative statements. I'm not going to do that. That's not going to happen. So you need to know the basics. What I will do in the fast track program is recap the most difficult parts and give you a really difficult paper to master that unit. So in the fast track, what we will do is each week, we will specialize in one unit. Fast track class is not for free. So each week we will specialize in one unit. So the target for y'all is in March, I will do unit 1, 2, 3, 4. April 5, 6, 7, 8. In May 9, 10, 11, 12. June and July will be a mock exam series. So it's a 5-month program. I'll give you all more details about it later. But again, I'm telling you, for you to join, 2 conditions. 1 condition, you should know the basics. 2nd condition, you should be willing to put that effort if you are joining. And in the fast track program, the whole point of this is to push you to that island rank. That is where the fast track program is designed, because theory and revision is more than enough for you to get that 75. The fast track is there to get the best out of you, to test your limits and push you to that, let's say 90, 95 levels. So if you can get the 90, 95s for all 3 of your subjects, you can easily get to that island rank that I'm talking about. That is where the fast track program is designed. It's not for everyone. It is a lot of work, right? I won't sugarcoat this for you. You will have a lot of work. You will have 3 classes a week. In addition to that, past paper class, the Friday one will also go. That means you will be meeting me 4 times a week. If you are willing to do, you can join. I haven't opened registrations yet. I will open in March, but registrations will also be limited. Not anyone can join at any point. There will be a certain slots available on first come, first serve basis. It will be allocated because I only print a certain amount of books. Once those books are done, registrations will close. That is how the fast track program will go. I'll share more details later on if anyone is interested. For now, registrations are not yet open. Okay, right. Then in terms of this, now for those people, now I told you fast track is there, Lama. It's more like an advanced revision. If you know the basics of the unit, it's ideal for y'all to recap it there. But then I know some of y'all are also there who have not covered the basics, right? Maybe in school they didn't teach you, your previous class is too slow, right? Different reasons. You have not learned the unit yet. For those kind of people, Lama, still don't worry. You can also get that A. For y'all, you can get my theory classes, recordings and tunes. Because now I'll tell you now, usually now let's say take unit number 1. Now unit number 1 in the theory class, I might take around 2 months to finish. 2 months to finish means around maybe 10 classes to finish. In the fast track, unit number 1, in 3 hours, I will summarize the entire unit. So if you don't know the basics of it, Lamai, that 3-hour summary won't make sense. So for those who don't know the basics, you can get my theory class recordings and tunes, and you can cover the units up. There are enough and more students who actually do this. Last year, there were around 1,000 to 1,500 students. Even though they don't come to my regular classes, they have purchased my recordings and tunes, and they're covering units. I have enough and more students who might be going for other classes also, but they still learn theory by purchasing my recordings and tunes. I have no problem. If you want to cover the theory, you can purchase the recordings and tunes of any unit and you can cover it up as well. That option is also there. That is, if you want to learn something from the basics, you have not much of an understanding, from 0, you want to learn a unit, then you will go with this. If you have a basic idea, you want to revise it and do the papers of that, then fast track can be an option. If you want to do both of it, yes, you can try, but that is double the workload. there. If you can handle, that is your problem. Okay. Right. So with that, I am done with my small intro. Past paper class is completely free for the next 5 months. I want all of y'all to make full use of it. And I want all of y'all to have that consistency. Now, I'll tell you as a fact, today the Zoom meeting is full at 300. I'm pretty sure next week, there will be some of y'all who will be like, "Ayyo, this week I will take a break here." And probably going down to, let's say, 2-3 months down the line, you might even be seeing only around 100-150 people in this Zoom meeting. So I don't want you to be the crowd that falls off. Be that consistent person, right? You have to sacrifice if you really want an A, right? So getting an A in A-levels is not easy. Getting an island rank for A-levels is not easy. There is a required amount of commitment, dedication that you have to put if you want to get that A. Not everyone can get an A. Not everyone can get an island rank. If you are willing to put that dedication, put that effort, and be consistent with that effort, that is something that most of y'all lack. I know y'all have motivation. Today you're motivated. Now next 5 months, I will work here. 1 week down the line, are you still motivated enough? So that has to happen. If you can do that, we can get this done nicely. So that is where I will end the small intro, the first half an hour. Questions, happy to answer. 500 MCQ book, MCQ program, we'll do it later on. I'll let you know when that starts. Fast track the first class, will I have it as a free trial? Depends. Last year, I did not. Okay. Fast track program, the fee will be your regular theory and revision class fee. So right now for February, those who are coming for theory and revision, you all are paying 5,500 a month. That will be the fee for the fast track program as well. So for the 5,500 you pay, you will get 12 classes. You will get that entire book. Personally, I feel all the papers will be marked and given also. I feel that is justifiable for that price. Right. So with that, I will end this thing, right? I have a few questions on the chat box. I will take the questions at the end, right? Because we took a little bit more than half an hour. So I'll end the intro part there. We will get into Lamai, the past paper class, right?